Elon Musk did something surprising for once. He actually ended up deleting one of his tweets after realizing there was really no way he could defend said tweet. Well, what was that tweet? Well, here it is, the now deleted tweet, which embeds a Tucker Carlson video. And he says it's very interesting, worth watching. A description of the video from Tucker Carlson says, Daryl Cooper may be the best and most honest, popular historian in the United States. His latest project is the most forbidden of all, trying to understand World War II. I think you guys know where this is headed.
Hey, don't scroll away. Come back. Because before the video continues, we just want to urge you to lend your support to TYT. You power our honest reporting. You do it at tyt.com/team, and we love you for it.
So on the surface, the tweet might seem totally benign, no issue whatsoever, but the video featured Tucker Carlson's interview with a guy named Daryl Cooper, refers to himself as a historian, and seems to like to engage in Hitler apologia, which is not good. So here's some more details on that.
And maybe I'm being a little hyperbolic, maybe. But I told him, maybe trying to provoke him a little bit, that I thought Churchill was the chief villain of the Second World War. Now, he didn't kill the most people. He didn't commit the most atrocities. But I believe, and I think when you really get into it and tell the story right and don't leave anything out, you see that he was primarily responsible for that war becoming what it did, becoming something other than an invasion of Poland. Or just, at every step of the way, like people are very often, I find, surprised to learn. There's a two-step process.
Well,
right?
why don't you just make the case for that? Okay, so you've made your statement. A lot of people are thinking, well, wait a second. You just said Churchill, my childhood hero, the guy with the cigar.
Yeah. Well, and the next thought that comes into their head is that, oh, you're saying Churchill was the chief villain, therefore his enemies, Adolf Hitler and so forth, were
Stalin,
the protagonists, right?
Yeah.
That they're the good guys if you think he's a villain. That's not the case. That's not what I'm saying.
Okay, Cenk, I'm gonna let you weigh in on this, but we have more, including basically how he whitewashes the atrocities committed by Hitler and the 6 million Jews that he slaughtered. We'll get to that in just a moment, but I'm curious what you think about that portion of their interview.
Yeah, this is madness. All this constant revisionism and neo-Nazi support on the right. You go all the way back to Charlottesville. Trump says there's very fine people on both sides. They say, oh, he didn't mean the Nazis. He just meant the racists who loved the slave masters and the old Confederate generals, etc. But then wave after wave, Nick Fuentes and Kanye West. And then they go and have dinner with Donald Trump. And now here's a Nazi-loving historian that goes on Tucker Carlson and then backed by Elon Musk. And now, by the way, we'll probably talk more about this on the live show tomorrow, weekdays 6 p.m. Eastern, shows live every day. And Trump is saying that he's gonna put Elon in charge of financial and performance audit of the entire government. What the hell does that mean? So this guy who's unhinged going, oh yeah, maybe a lot of people just wound up dead during the Holocaust, is going to be apparently do, quote, drastic reforms of the entire government. Why? Because he's a donor to Donald Trump. This is madness.
Yes, so let's get to another portion of the interview that at first Elon Musk was happy to promote and celebrate. So Cooper also went on to claim that the Holocaust wasn't intentional, okay? It was just an accident.
Germany, look, they put themselves into a position, and Adolf Hitler is chiefly responsible for this, but his whole regime is responsible for it, that when they went into the East in 1941, they launched a war where they were completely unprepared to deal with the millions and millions of prisoners of war, of local political prisoners and so forth that they were gonna have to handle. They went in with no plan for that. And they just threw these people into camps, and millions of people ended up dead there. You have like letters as early as July, August 1941 from commandants of these makeshift camps that they're setting up for these millions of people who are surrendering or people they're rounding up. And so it's 2 months after, a month or two after Barbarossa was launched. And they're writing back to the high command in Berlin saying, we can't feed these people. We don't have the food to feed these people. And one of them actually says, rather than wait for them all to slowly starve this winter, wouldn't it be more humane to just finish them off quickly now?
That was one of the most insane things I've ever heard. Like, how do you defend what you just said? Like, wow. He's also tweeted things like what I'm about to read to you. If you're having a bad day, just remember that the Trump shooter is currently wandering around hell looking for Hitler, while the two guys Kyle Rittenhouse dropped figure out how to break the news to him, meaning that Hitler is not in hell. Hitler's actually in heaven. While the Trump assassinator, but the person trying to assassinate Donald Trump is in hell thinking he's going to see Hitler there. Like, imagine thinking that Hitler is in heaven. That's who this guy is.
Yeah, look, Tucker Carlson is a lunatic. I can't believe anybody takes him seriously. So this guy that he's platforming as like a brilliant historian also said, oh, Hitler would have given some parts of Poland back. He was offering peace, but that no good Churchill wouldn't just let him keep most of the places he'd already invaded and taken. And you heard in that clip, millions of people wound up dead. And he said at the end, they were just trying to be more humane. They were probably gonna die anyway. That's why they put them in gas chambers, to be more humane. And you think that's a great historian, Tucker Carlson? You think that's really interesting, Elon Musk? No, that's not interesting. That's absolute insanity. I mean, this country's devolving. Now there are massive figures that apparently might be in charge of auditing the entire government that keep talking about how maybe the Nazis were not so bad. This is insanity, total insanity. Elon Musk is out of control. I mean, the other day he talked about how high status males are best for decision making, and that democratic, but a democracy only for those who are free to think, meaning that it should not be a democracy. He's like, oh, that sounds really interesting. He retweeted that, sounds interesting. Maybe we should ban women from voting and low T males. In other words, anyone who isn't rich. There's a bunch of fascists trying to take over our government. It's real, and you just saw it. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.